be held as a way for the unit owners of RiverWalk to gather information toward making an informative decision in their voting for or against the document change. As such, they are open only to unit owners. If you are not a unit owner, you can either leave, or if you wish to stay, it must be only to listen and observe, not to participate in any manner. You've already gotten your ballot, asking to vote yes or no for the future of the largest amenity in your community. If you vote yes, there'll be exciting new changes in your marketplace cafe. If you vote no, it's over. This community will lose its marketplace and also in turn its gas station, most likely, forever, leaving a vacant building and giving our guests and future home buyers the impression of a failed community. Your board who serve this community are all supporting this document change and is asking you to have them change their documents to allow for the collection of $10 a month or $120 per year as a prepayment towards a credit to be used in the Marketplace Cafe. In other words, you give $10 a month, you get it back. Let's start the meeting by you asking your questions, and I'll do my best to give you complete and honest answers. Yes, sir.
Jack, it was supposed to be a vote on $120 for the cafe. That's what I thought the ballot was going to be. When I got in the mail, and furthermore, you quote in the RiverWalk talk on page 35 that it's a credit, not an assessment. When the paperwork came from the board, or from RiverWalk, it says the $120 is an assessment. And it's a tremendous difference, and I think the language should be made clear. I had my attorneys read this, and it's an assessment, not a credit.
Okay, you've read all of the changes?
I read everything.
All right. What problems do you have with the changes that are being asked?
It gives the board too much power.
What power is it giving us?
It's giving you power to finance, underwrite, sponsor any commercial entity that might need it now or in the future.
Right. Then you better get another attorney, please, because it says may provide financial support
Right.
for a commercial operation
Right.
conducted on the commercial portion of the common areas as provided in Article 8, Section 8.3H.
Right.
Okay, now let's read the new Section 8.3H. A separate amount to be determined by the board not to exceed the sum of $120 per unit per year to be used exclusively to financially assist the cafe restaurant business being operated at the Town Hall Center by a third-party lessor. Operator. The separate assessment to support the cafe restaurant operation shall be due and payable by each unit owner as follows. 1/3 of the total assistance amount determined by the board shall be due and payable with the owner's assessment in the first, second, and fourth quarters of each fiscal year. The association shall disburse the funds collected pursuant to this Section H to the operator along with a list of names of each unit owner who has paid the assessed amount pursuant to this section. Upon receipt of the money disbursed by the association, the operator shall give each listed unit owner a credit equal to the amount paid by each listed unit owner to be used by such owner for the purchase of goods and services at the cafe restaurant operating in the town center. Now, how can you possibly interpret that to mean more than $120 a year and it goes any place else other than here?
What about Article 5 and Article 6?
Article 5, the first part of it, not underlined, is already in your documents.
Right.
So you want to read those over?
Underlined is the
underlined.
problem.
And may provide financial support for a commercial operation conducted on the commercial portion of the common areas as provided in Article 8, Section 8.3H below. Okay, that's what I just got through reading.
That's giving the board too much power.
What power do you think your board has already?
tremendous,
You're right.
tremendous
We do.
power. Like a
You-
dictatorship, not a democracy, that's for sure.
You vote every year for 7 directors. Well, 3 one year, 4 the next year. And in our hands, you place the fiscal responsibility of running this community. Every year.
But we don't get all the information that we
Sure
that is
you do.
requested.
Have you ever been to a board meeting?
Very few,
Okay, why don't you
unfortunately,
come
because I
to more?
have,
Do you ever
I
watch the
have to
board
support
meetings?
my family.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
have illnesses,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
we all
and-
have problems.
And I wish I had the time, and I'm the committee man, the precinct captain for this community, and I fight tooth and nail for this community
Okay.
and for many people.
Do you ever watch any of the board meetings or any of the other meetings on
Very
Channel
rarely.
63?
Very
So
rarely.
you are not up to date on anything that's been going on in here.
I'm up to date on a few things, and
Okay.
I've been hurt.
The board members have complete fiscal control of what goes on in this community. That's what you elect us for. And over the last several years, we have been so fiscally responsible that you've had little or no increases in your maintenance charges. But yet, we can raise them if we want to, if we
Why?
have to.
Why would we have to raise them if we're running at a surplus, not at a,
We're a nonprofit organization. We don't run as a surplus.
well, I'm saying that we're not negative, okay?
No,
We
we're
always
zero.
we always.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, if you remember me from the previous meeting, I'm in support of
Thank you.
maintaining this cafe. There's a couple of questions that I have about the way it was worded, however. Okay, and first off, I'd like to say that RiverWalk, whether, you know, as we all live here, has to be run as a business, and we elect the board to do that, so
Thank
thank you. Article 5.13, in my reading of it, I do believe is restricted to the cafe by the last sentence.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. The thing that I'm a little concerned about is the second sentence in 6.1, the addition, and to promote the operation of the commercial portions of the common areas through financial assistance if deemed reasonable and necessary. What I would prefer not to do is give anybody, without coming back for a vote again, the
Excuse me,
authority.
that's in 5.13?
6.1. I don't want to give anybody the authority to support any other commercial establishment, like the bank or the hair salon. And I think that this might be a little wide in scope, the way that second sentence is, and I don't believe it was the intent, but I believe it is too wide.
The attorney insisted that that be put into 6.1 in order that 8.3H could take
It's
effect.
doable, but can't
Yes, ma'am.
say as 5.13 says.
I'm not an attorney, this is what we pay him for.
Then you should send it back to the attorney till you get it right.
Or get a new attorney.
Excuse me, but even if we pay him for what his services are, the whole idea of this meeting is to raise questions. So we're coming to you with the question we have and the concern that's reflected. So I think it probably would be a good idea to go back to the attorney then and say, that's too wide of a scope of a sentence for people here to live with. It not ties in correctly in that paragraph back to
The cafe.
the cafe.
Well, all of the directors looked at it, and it all made sense to us, because we deal in our documents.
Well, it does make
Every day.
sense, but
Every
it-
day.
I think it does give you a parameter to go and financially support another rental unit in the common area.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't say.
It does.
It does.
It
No, it
does.
doesn't. No. You have to remember one thing, your 7 directors live here. We're residents. Each one of us give almost 1,000 hours a year to this community because of our love for the community and us wanting to maintain
So
it.
we're not, you know,
Right.
we all serve on different
We're
boards
not,
in
we,
different areas
we
and
have,
we're
we have been
volunteers.
accused of some things over the last couple of months or a couple of meetings that are outrageous, that were not transparent. I mean, all you have to do is get on Channel 63, and every time you see a meeting, everything is wide open.
I don't want you to become defensive in this way. This
Thank
is
you.
not what this meeting is for.
Yeah.
This meeting is for us to pose questions.
Okay,
And
but
that's the
that can't be
question that we
changed.
have.
That can't be
But
changed.
that might-
It's
I
out
might
for
have-
vote,
But
it's out
that
for vote.
influences our vote.
It's out for vote now.
Yeah,
You can
I know.
cancel the vote, Jack.
I guess we
You
can.
Not a
can cancel the
Point
vote.
Not a
order to
chance.
Oh,
table it,
yes.
table
No,
it.
not a chance.
Yes.
Table it.
It won't happen because that man will be out of here and then you'll get.
That's
maybe
not our
what-
problem. The problem is the way the paperwork was put together.
I think it's put together very, very well.
I don't think so. I don't think
I
so.
think it's very
For
good.
whose benefit?
For your benefit.
No, it isn't. Because why must we have an amendment to all of this, when all you gotta do is, if it's voluntary, just let all the residents come in and buy it.
It's not
We, you know,
voluntary.
that's been brought up several times. The board, on its own, without putting anything out to a vote, can say this is an amenity, which is what you want. This is now an amenity. So therefore, we could say it's gonna cost each one of you $10 a month to support this amenity. We could do that.
No, without a
You'll
vote.
get
from
voted
all
out
the
of-
We don't
residents.
need your vote to do that.
Excuse
Something's
us,
gotta be
this is
changed.
not
We
a
do not need your
dictatorship. Again,
We
this
do
is
not
a
need your vote
dictatorship.
to raise your association dues $10 a
Oh,
month.
yes, you do
to
need our
support
vote.
an amenity.
You do need our vote.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't.
This is not a
You
dictatorship.
give us that power when you elect us.
No, this is a dictatorship,
Well, maybe
okay?
that's a power.
And let me say one thing for the record. I love this place. I think the owner's a great person. I spend much more than $120 a year. But I am offended that I am forced to put up money in advance for something, okay? I spend much more. The guy's a great guy, and I love the food here, and I spend a lot more than $120 a year here. But I want somebody telling me that I have to put money up in advance, okay, for something that I don't have control over. All right, that's a bunch of crap,
What
okay?
happens next year when we decide we need new drapes? We raise it again? Just because you have the power to do
Were
it?
you here when I just read that?
No, I didn't. I missed it.
I
I'm sorry.
I
was
thought you
late.
probably did. Did you read what you're voting on?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, did you find out
It was
that,
supposed to just be for a cafe,
not to exceed the sum of $120 a year?
For
Not
this
to
one
exceed.
time.
A year.
Every year.
So that means next year, we can't go to 125, we can't go to 130, we can't go to 140. It's 120 a year, $10 a month, period.
unless there's another amendment,
If we, then we have to put it out to vote again.
and you will. And
Okay.
people don't read it, and it'll get voted in
That's the
again.
problem. There's only so many people there, and unfortunately, like myself, people don't read the letters. I didn't read it till today, and because people are so busy with fighting to survive in their lives, and they don't read all the information. I am very busy helping the community in general, okay? I spend probably God knows how many hours that I've lost so much money helping people and helping our community, all right? So you spend 1,000 hours, I'll probably spend 4,000 hours helping this community and helping good people get elected and helping try to stop bad things from happening,
And
okay?
you think this is a bad thing?
Yeah, I do.
How
Because-
many people in here
and-
think it's a bad thing, so I'll know exactly what's
because
going on?
I don't think
Got
that we
1,
should
2,
be
3,
forced.
4, 5, 6.
The way it's written, it's a bad
The
thing.
way it's
3,
written.
4,
the
5.
way
We
it's
got
written.
What are
roughly
we talking
7
about
out
a bad
of,
thing? The
what,
marketplace?
30 people?
The
What you're
the
proposing-
amendments,
What's the amendments?
the amendments.
It's a bad thing. The way you're proposing it is a bad thing.
Okay, why?
Because there's
Why?
no
Because you're
assurances for
insisting
our
I can do
community.
something that maybe I don't want to do.
Have you eaten in here? Oh.
Once or
No,
twice.
but-
Okay, can you spend $10 a month in here?
I don't know. This year I might be able to. Next year I might not. I'm on a fixed income.
A lot of people want to fix income.
$10 a month?
Please don't count my money.
$10 a
Please
month?
don't count my money.
I just want to
You
know
make
record,
it
I
everybody
have
else.
four
Hey,
for
Jack.
this project.
Jack, is this gonna be a credit card, or is this gonna be paper vouchers? I'm hearing
I
paper
wish
vouchers.
you people were watching some 63. This has been explained 20 times. What is going to happen is he is going to make an investment of close to $1,500 in something called Patron Pal.
You said PayPal previously.
Patron Pal, not PayPal.
You said PayPal.
Never,
You said PayPal.
never,
Never said PayPal.
No, you said picture.
never. Patron Pal. I've never said PayPal. I've watched the TV many times to make sure
have any
everything I
copies
said
of it?
was accurate.
Yep.
You can check it. It's on channel 63, 6 times a week.
Okay.
All right? And what this Patron Pal